A very warm welcome to the Hospitable Couch. आज हमारे शो द हॉस्पिटेबल काउच पर होंगे मिस्टर गीत वाधवा. Mr. Geet Wadhwa has created many phenomenal brands like Terminal 1 and Abir. इसी के साथ उन्होंने शुरू करा है द Skyline Golf, which is a privately operated golf range, and उनसे उनकी जर्नी के बारे में हम लोगों ने बात की है. Because the way he has created these brands and with the zeal and passion, जिस एम्बिशन के साथ उन्होंने ये स्टार्ट करा है, दैट इज समथिंग पीपल शुड लर्न. कि एक इंस्पिरेशन कैसे उनसे ले सकते हैं, उनसे लर्निंग ले सकते हैं अपनी लाइफ का जो एक ड्रीम होता है उसको फुलफिल करने के लिए. सो स्टे ट्यून्ड एंड एंजॉय द कन्वर्सेशन एंड स्प्रेड इट अमंगस्ट योर लव्ड वंस. थैंक यू वेरी मच. Very warm welcome to the show, sir. Pleasure. It's an absolute delight to have you with us at the Hospitable Couch. And thank you very much that you gave your time from your busy schedule. I know how tough it was for you to get out of those busy schedule. How are you feeling today?
That's what his operations man is all about.
I can relate that with you because all my professional background has been into managing operation administrative.
So you know the task.
Absolutely, absolutely. What are your feelings today about the conversation we are going to have now?
My feelings about the conversation.
Raw,
candid. So thank you that you chose me on the platform, and it is definitely a platform where you have put your energy and efforts to bring all those people like us into the highlight. Thanks for that. And we definitely, I could really relate. Coming from your background, your history is the same. You understand the hospitality well.
Exactly.
So that is, I guess, one of the most keen thing that you have asked the people to drop into it.
Thank you very much first for acknowledging the fact that we are at the right track.
Yeah.
So Abir has become the talk of the town right now. And I know that it is not only the one thing that you have started past many years. So it is the product of the last 20 years, I say, that I've known for you. So a little bit about the journey that you started with, your perception about this industry. How did you manage to enter this industry? I know because initially this was not the first thing that you started with.
Yes.
So your inclination towards hospitality and prior to that.
So long story, I would be...
Please, the platform is all yours.
So I would be more than happy to cut it short and let you know in cracks. So the story started in 99 when I started my own business for the first time. I come from a background where my father is a chartered accountant. He has always been a professional in his life. He has never got a chance and opportunity at that stages of life where he could set up his own setups and do an entrepreneurial skills. So he was there as a profession. He retired as a finance director in the company. In 99, my brother initiated for an automobile background and I was dragged to the family business, thanks to them. And till 2011, I guess, that was the time when I said that I have given too much of the things towards the automobile. I would not say that automobile is not made for me, but yes, automobile was something which I was not that very keen of. But it has given me a platform to perform. It has given me the confidence to perform. So I can never ever forget that 10 good years spent in that industry. Post that, I was looking at an opportunity towards doing something which is more towards the PR. My whole industry experience has gone all towards the PR thing. So I can speak much, so that's where you wanted me to speak. So ultimately, I was looking at something wherein I can be honest and justifiable to my experiences, my passion. So the passion drove me towards multiple things. I got into corporate gifting things. So from 2011 to 2015 end, I was with the company's corporate gifting partners. I was doing the merchandising. I was doing the gifting for them. So running around the entire thing, that was giving me exposure towards the new things in the market. That gave me exposure. What all is the new in the market? Nonetheless, the urge was not the I would say that the complete thing.
मतलब यहाँ भी you felt कि you मतलब एक वो चीज नहीं मिल पा रही थी.
वो सलमान खान की मूवी देख ली थी उस टाइम पे, वो किक नहीं मिल रही थी.
Kick नहीं मिल रही थी. That's the right phrase.
So that was the time when I was looking at something wherein I wanted to do something always that gives me at end of the day that happiness, that charge, that spark in me. So I guess this hospitality thing gave me that thing. So that was also one of the reasons that was pulling me towards this thing. So there's no history, no experience. I would say no professional qualification. I would not rely on saying so. I am not a professional chef. I am not a HM guy. So a passionate man who was looking at doing something from the scratch. I know that I have a good PR. I have a good operation skills. So that brought me here. 2016, we started the first place called Terminal 1. So Terminal 1 is a BYOB place which we created in 2016 on Gurgaon Faridabad Road. So that was the first entry to the industry. It was tough, though it was not that experienced background. But yes, being a smart entrepreneur, we added few people along with us who were from the industry. So they were the guiding stars. I could learn from them. I could take the advantages of their experience. So where we created a success story with Terminal 1. Terminal was a place where we created the entire structure in a format of a shipping containers.
Okay.
It is
First of its kind.
First of its kind, because we were the first in North India who created a restaurant in a containers, a shipping containers. And we created a containers, joined together and created a wonderful architectural experience. So that is where we changed the story. And the second story changer with Terminal 1 BYOB were we categorized as a place which is a more towards the family. We created that place which has a family welcoming atmosphere. It was not a general BYOB where you see all rowdy kind of a crowd. So we manned that crowd and we managed to create that place well. Along with that, in 2019, we wanted to do something in the sports. And I will tell you the entire background of getting me into this, all those things. But yes,
So I feel very successively, every 2 years, 3 years, something or the other was bothering you to get something.
That's one of the partner who was bothering me too much.
So you were a part of that botheration, right?
I was a part of the botheration.
So that botheration gave Delhi or Delhi NCR, I must say, the Skyline Golf, the Terminal 1 BYOB, and today where we are today at Abir.
Yeah, thank you.
So this inclination has stopped, या फिर कुछ और भी आने वाला that
it's coming up. It's just next coming up. Now we'll talk about it also.
Certainly.
So I would come to the same story again. So 2019 we started doing a golf range. So proudly, with the God's grace, we came up with Skyline Golf as India's longest and biggest as a golf driving range. So it's again in Gurgaon, on Gurgaon Faridabad Road, adjoined to the Pathway School. So that is a journey where we shifted gears from the FNB towards the sporting thing. So the journey didn't stop. As I told you earlier, there's a partner who bothered me again, pushed me again, bragged, told me again to do something next. So he was the one who initiated this idea. This place, what we are sitting at Abir, is an operational place from 2018. After this Terminal 1, we created this in 2018. Unfortunately, the COVID arose and the entire thing scenario changed. And these both Terminal 1 and Abir are on the same road. So we could not manage the two properties together. So 2020 to 2022, we were shut. 2022, we scratched our heads again. We managed the funds again. And we gathered the guts to do it again. We revamped the entire place and we created a place in a Moroccan theme, in a place which is entirely different in the NCR. There is nothing close that we have tried to copy.
That's undoubtedly, you can, just stamp it somewhere.
No, it was
amazing place.
It was pretty sure that we did not want to copy a concept like everybody was doing those days. And I would be honest in saying so. This is a creation which we thought of giving a different look all about. And 2022 to 2023 July, we created this thing. It took an year or so, and finally we came up with the property. So then this is just 2.5 months old property, and by this place, what we have got is something phenomenal again.
It is so phenomenal that Instagram and all those social media handles are now flooded because their check-in and their every stories are about Agra, because it has become a top town right now. So all the crux that I could make out that you were looking for something apart from getting that kick out of that you have mentioned कि कुछ ऐसा तो आज वो कुछ ऐसा did it satisfy you with Abir, or you have something to say कि अभी कुछ ऐसा करना है, like you have entered into a sport which is very luxurious sport.
Yes.
Golf, I must say, is even till today considered the sports of a wealthiest person.
Yes.
And where people would come, people would network their business and spend a lot of time with calmness, away from the city, and So why did you choose that niche? You मतलब और भी हो सकता था golf as in मतलब एक inclination जानना चाहता हूँ.
शायद वही कह सकते हैं. Again, the story is that we want to do something out of the league. We do not want to do something what everybody is doing. So when we created Terminal 1, so that was a different concept. We wanted to break the myth of a BYOB. When we landed into sport as well, we tried our hands and burnt our hands in the other things as well in the sports. That was a lesson learned, that you have to do something which is bigger, better, and proper. So we created a miniature golf as well in 2017, but that did not do that well. That did not get the limelight. So that was also one of the reasons that we wanted to do something in the sport in a proper manner. So wherein this birth of Skyline came in. And Skyline, as you said, it is a rich man's game. Golf is something which is a networking game. Yes, there are a few things that is very right about the golf. It is a networking game. It is a wonderful game which do not need a partner first. It is a game where you have a lot of concentration. But no, you are partially wrong that it is a game of a rich man. Advantages of the ranges like us and other around in the NCR and the other cities. Earlier, the golf courses were only accessible to the members. So that was the one catch that has limitized the numbers of people playing golf. So when the ranges came in, when the independent standalone, that's what we call it, a standalone range. Standalone is a range where you do not have a golf course associated to it. We are an independent identity. So anybody can walk in, even if in case you're not a golfer, even if in case you're not experienced about the golf thing, you're welcome and you do not need a membership. It is a pay and play facility. So that is where the barrier gets over. So anybody wants to have a hands-on to the game can walk in, experience
An
it,
amount and
pay a nominal, very nominal amount and can have an experience.
Okay.
So that is also one of the reasons that the golfers category is increasing every day. So we are creating new golfers. So ranges are a place where you start golf, you experience golf, and you learn golf, and regularly improve your game. So that is what I'm saying. So that was the idea, that we want to create a bigger market, because definitely
so that the sport is accessible to everyone.
Definitely yes. It is not that I would say that only Skyline Golf has done so. Every other ranges who have put in their efforts and money into it has got to that level which has created that welcoming atmosphere. So like if I tell you, in a golf course, if you walk by, you're not allowed to go into any kind of attire. You have to have a proper golfing. It's a disciplined environment.
Right.
So wherein there is again a flexibility at a range, that you're a bit flexible. We do not allow pajamas and all, but yes, definitely we are quite flexible. Even if in case you're coming from your office and you're in your casuals, you can just play for a while. So at least you have that inclination and understanding to the game. So therein again we have created that new set of customers and broken the myth of only the expensive tag wala thing. So that is something which we created in that place.
I can make out कि this particular thing of breaking a myth and getting into, make it accessible to more people and inexpensive one, that was the need of an art.
That was the need of the hour, because I believe in India, as on date that we are talking about, there is a wonderful exposure. Everybody is coming and experiencing. So there is a need of a game which is well accepted in the entire US, Europe. You see everywhere in the entire world, you have that accessibility. Just जो आज when we talk about cricket in India, is there about golf in the other world. So we do not have that accessibility. So the moment you have the accessibility, there are people standing to play it.
Exactly.
So now, earlier there was no name in the Olympics for the golfing. From last 2 Olympics, we have golf in the Olympics. So that is also a big move. That also initiates. Then there are teachers who try to bring that kind of experience into kids. There are schools who are trying to inculcate this as a curriculum.
Exactly. I was
So
coming to that point that now it is being accepted as the norm.
It's an international school. See, if in case you're studying in an international school, you have to have that international exposure.
Exactly.
If you are having an international exposure, you have to have those understanding of the games. So you need to be on the platform where everybody is.
Exactly.
So that is something which Skyline would have done to the industry, I guess.
In a very brief context, we got to know about your journey. So I would like to understand, like, जो भी hospitality का venture होता है, that deals with people all around. आपका जो एक interest भी है, you are a PR person, the way you speak, the way you handle the people's business.
Yep.
Hospitality is all about people and it's
100%.
people's business. Right. How important it is for a person like you who is establishing new ways and carving the niche to where we stand today, and other restaurateurs as well. How well do you need to understand the people, those who are either side of the table? What is that quality that you're looking for while hiring a team or while managing such outlets and establishing new things? What is that confidence in you?
So I would just say on this that definitely we have to think, as of now, there has to be a structured organization to train the team. The biggest challenge, what I feel as of now, is that the shortage of manpower in every industry, and specifically for the hospitality industry. So because, as you rightly said, you have to understand the guest, you have to understand anybody, and a person who is a first time introduced to you. So therein the role of the entire hierarchy, from the management to the from, I would say, from the owners to the top management to the below. So it is something where it has to be inculcated that, boss, understand, they are the ones who are giving you bread and butter. So somewhere or the other, we have to have a proper training. We have to have a proper induction for the team. We have to have a proper kind of a explanation of the importance that, and the most important thing is that they have to be well versed with what they're selling. Most likely, if I talk to 10 people in the restaurant, I guess 2 or 3 you will find that they are not well versed with the serving that they're doing. So there is the need of the improvement. So that, I feel, is another area where we all, people from the industry, has to work, has to train, and get a better manpower to have a smoother functioning. So this is something which I feel is the need of the hour. So that
At this point also, you feel that the human resource needs to be structured?
And definitely, yeah, because
provided that many organizations, many startups are there providing, trained, well-trained manpowers or human resource to their suitable professions.
I guess there is just some difference, which is, I guess we all have gone through the age that we are talking about. The young blood these days are more inclined toward the easy jobs. So that is one thing which is, I guess, a barrier. There are a lot of, I'm not trying to defame, I'm not trying to demotivate the youngsters from doing something different. I have done different in my life. I have tried everything.
But your opinion would be, an eye-opener for young, budding, upcoming.
I would only say that there has to be a spark, yeah. There has to be a spark in the generation right now. What I feel, that's my perception, that there is some missing of that spark, that ignite. I want to prove, I want to reach there. That I guess has quite a below down to the level where it should be. I guess there has to be some structure, there has to be some organizations that we can think of. That's another line of good opportunity of a business, I would say, where you train team, you get good people who are certified, who are trained, experienced. So if in case we talk about a right manpower, the organization performs far better.
All right.
So that is what I feel is the need of the hour.
Through your journey, you have started many things which were first of their kind, right?
Yeah.
Some succeeded, some didn't.
हाँ,
तो जो
definitely.
चीज आपको लगता है कि सक्सीड हो सकती है लेकिन वो नहीं हुई, वो उसको सस्टेन कर आपने कैसे करा? मतलब आपकी क्या अप्रोच रही उन दिनों की? दैट मतलब कुछ होता है कि उनका एक एटीट्यूड होता है कि नहीं चलो वो छोड़ देते हैं, फिर किसी और प्रोफेशन में या किसी और फील्ड में यू स्टिक टू दैट। कि हो सकता है कि आपने जब टर्मिनल 1 BYOB स्टार्ट करा, दैट वाज फर्स्ट ऑफ इट्स काइंड, मिनिएचर गोल्फ लिंक वाला। सो अगर वो नहीं सक्सेसफुल होते तो जैसे हम, आई वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड द लेसन फ्रॉम यू कि जब आप कोई नई चीज प्लान कर रहे हो एंड दैट डजंट कम्स आउट इन योर फेवर, व्हाट शुड बी द अप्रोच ऑफ एन आइडियल पर्सन?
See, I would be honest and blunt on this thing. I would not be the one who will take the entire credit of the entire success story of behind me. There are people who have made me stand here where I'm standing. They have given me the platform. They have given me the place to speak. So it is not a success story of an individual. First of all, whatever business I talk about, wherever I have, there is a teamwork. There are partners involved with me. And here I would highlight one of the partners who has been associated with me from almost 15 years now. So with all ups and downs, I am the one who lose heart, urgent, immediate at that moment.
All right.
Yes, he is the one who has handled those situations well. If I may tell you, for 2 years when this outlet which we are talking and bragging about, Aber, was shut, I was constantly after his life. But yeah, let's shut it down. He was saying, let's wait for a right moment. Let's wait for a right moment. I never realized what is right moment. So that's what I'm saying. Every successful man has people behind to make him successful. Some speak about it, some cover it up. So I would be honest in saying so. There are people I have behind. So one is the gentleman I'm talking about, my partner, who was the one who has that charge, who has that spark of creating the beautiful places. He always creates a fantabulous place. For Terminal 1, the entire concept, the entire architecture, the entire thought behind the thing was his. This place which we are sitting right now was Crossover in 2018, named as a brand Crossover. Did not had that good success story. 2017-18 when we started that miniature golf did not had that success story, but that gentleman stood by. He always said, we will do a better one, we'll do a better one. So when we failed, I cannot say that we are always a successful man. So there are a lot of failures that we had. So when we failed for the sports venture, he said, "Nahin, Geet, there was some error from our side. We did not create what the people wanted." So wherein then he said, "Geet, we were wrong. We wanted to create a golf for the general public, but we created a golf which is for the golfers."
Okay.
So what we created was for a golfer, but it is a very small community, and we were trying and we were sitting at some place which was not accessible. So he said, let's create a golfing thing which is something which is for the general public and everybody. So therein the skyline took birth and the idea came in. The entire structurally, conceptually, he was the one. He had seen all the ups and downs during the creation of skyline. Post that, if I talk about coming back to Aber, 2 years shutdown story. I told you it was shut, it was shattered. We lost the property with the every dirt thing that can happen around. For 2 years, it was zero. Post that, one evening we were sitting and chatting. Bhaiya, kuch, let's think of it. He said, time to aa gaya hai. I would say that I lost my patience in 2 years multiple times. I came back to him and said, कुछ पैसे मिलेंगे, let's scrap it out. He was rigid. He was firm about it. नहीं, we have failed this place, and if in case we have to stay in the F&B industry, we have to make it a success story here. I was saying, okay, being an elder, I have to obey. Okay, you're a partner. So that is where he said, "Ki paise to lagenge, but we'll create something." So wherein in 2022 July, we sat in May, created an idea, and he said, if in case we'll create this time, we'll create something par excellence. Like we are already struggling with finances, recently done with Terminal 1, then there's a loss from the small sports thing that we did. We have recently created a Skyline Golf. So we are already crisis of that money kind of a thing. So he's always thought, and always a statement is, "Aise aa jayenge. Let's have a positive thought, kaam ho jayega." So therein that you need a positive people. He is very positive frame man. So wherein he dragged the entire thing, he said, "We will do it." And there is Abir that we are talking about. So that's the power. Second, nonetheless, my family. I cannot ever forget the kind of support, the kind of tolerance I would rightly use. My wife has tolerated me for almost like 17 years now. I have given her all kind of experiences of coming to the industry from 2007 to 2007. I came from one industry to the other, 2011 the other. Every now and then I'm saying, "Bas last kuch mahine hai, we will be there." So, but she has always been there. Thanks to her, she is the one who has always said, "Acha chalo koi baat nahi, I'll cooperate." She lose some time about her temperament. She says, "Ki yaar, enough of it now. I have given my good long time to you now. What are you doing?" So I would honestly say that if in case she would have not been there, I would have not been there. So it is not that I'm on a platform and saying, "Hello guys, I have to thank everybody." It is not like that. It is from the art. I would always say there are people who always supported me in all my idiotic decision is my wife and my partner. There is a gentleman, my brother, who brought me to the limelights of business, who brought me to the automobile background, is the one who taught me the first hiccups, the first ups and downs of business. He taught me business hota kya hai. He gave me an edge always to be. I was younger with him, so he was always giving me an edge. Kar le jo karenge dekhte hain. So wherein he was the one who brought me to the business line. So these three people, I would say, and list is endless. So I cannot forget my family, my father and mother who supported me. So end of the day, the success story is behind. The success story is behind, which rarely people see. So I always say when I speak to somebody about any of the place, it is not me. I want to acknowledge in front of the entire world, it is not one man show. Without your partners, without your right company, without your right team, you cannot stand. I cannot take a credit that I did everything. My team did everything. There's a teamwork. I cannot be a server. I cannot be a manager. I cannot be a gate man. So everybody has a very important role in creating a success stories. So from the ones who conceptualize, from the ones who support you, from the one who executes. So it is lucky that I get the opportunity of having a brand face. So I get all those acknowledgements. Definitely, yes, all those backfires also I have to face. But thanks to God has been kind that I always get all those good things that I have to hear about the brand. So I must say thanks to everybody who has been my part of the journey.
I'm very amused to the positivity that I, imbibed just now with your talks, because everybody that you mentioned contributed you to be more productive, and your Abir came into existence, and Skyline Golf is still there, and all. So it gives the sense of, doing something more than your potential. That is what I can make out through your talk.
So that's what I said, na, ki it is not an individual power.
Right,
It is a multiple people power. I am the only blessed to drive this entire thing. I have the horsepower behind me. So that's the way that success story is there. So that's what the journey all about.
With the changing times, the restaurants have changed. The people, the way they dine in, the way they look at the restaurants, they are raised. According to you, what do you think that is the future of F&B industry, particularly in the restaurants and the culture that is we are adapting right now?
Oh, that is something very, very different, I guess, would be coming up. I believe the service standards are different. The food presentation is very important. I guess earlier the only way of outing was having a good food.
No.
Now the kind of structure, the kind of places that you go is how beautiful the food looks like. It has to be, earlier it was like a picture's perfect. Then it turned out to be a Instagrammable place. Now it is an Instagrammable food also. People look forward for a food which is a presentable food. What is there inside is definitely a matter, because it will call you for the next time. But for the first time, I guess the presentation is the key of any F&B thing.
That was my next upcoming question.
So I answered it earlier.
Like a place holds something like आपका कोई मतलब might be having a brand to, brand in the sense a place to go where you feel, the nostalgia kind of a thing. Ki what gives something a guest or a patron to come back again? It might be an ambience, it might be service, it might be food, because कहीं बार अगर आपका food भी on that note, it is not up to the mark, but the service, the way they were being pampered, it gives that nostalgia to come back.
That is very important, where I said that we need strong team. I believe any experience can go the top notch or the worst. It is important if in case a management team handles the situation then and there, then you are not losing a customer. Definitely, yes, in a service industry, you cannot have 100 out of 100.
Exactly.
But definitely with your efforts and with your follow-ups, as I always tell my team also, that there has to be feedback of a client when he or she leaving the gate. Post that, they will review on your Instagram, wherever they get the opportunity. So let us take the feedback right here and rectify and handle it. There are sometimes very small issues what customer feel that if it would have been addressed here, he would have loved to come back. There are sometimes when you take something negative with you, we will always say, nahi, wahan nahi jana yaar.
The word is spread is not.
The word spread is also different, but the only thing that you're losing one customer at least. I am not talking about the kind of a story that you lose 3 more customers, you lose 10 more customers, but that first customer also is lost. So I believe the most important thing is the feedback at a right time. You have to be on your toes. The manager has to be on the toes to take a feedback immediately. The table is done, the bill is presented. There has to be a one-to-one feedback. I do not even insist on that any format of feedback. There has to be an individual feedback. If you go to your own self, interactive feedback. If a manager walking to you at the end of the day and asking you, so how was your experience? You will be more vocal about it. If I give you a format, sir, give me 1 to 10 on all those parameters, you will be okay, yeah, ठीक है, 1, 10, 2, 20, whatever.
Same like everywhere else.
So I believe any organization, specifically in the F&B, if in case it is one-to-one interaction, the game can change. So person can give you best feedback, positive, negative, both, at a right time. But there are people who would be happy in sharing one-to-one rather than writing it on their paper. So I believe the management should plan a end user experience at that moment. So that is what I feel is more important.
Conceptualizing a restaurant and identifying that what the trend is and what the fashion is, which will suit the client you are targeting at. जिसको हम नीश बोल देते हैं कि मैं इस नीश को टारगेट कर रहा हूँ या ये मेरा क्लाइंट है, उनके लिए अगर आप कोई स्पेसिफिक रेस्टोरेंट किसी थीम पर जैसे बनाते हैं, how what goes in terms of research and what drives your confidence to establish that?
So it's a very simple answer. Every place I cannot be the master. That the gentleman I'm talking about, the partner I'm talking about.
No, then you can't say anything about them.
So it's again, the story is that the gentleman who has created the story around all the places knows the concept. I am the showrunner. Let me be the showrunner. No, jokes apart. Definitely, yes. You need to have that inclination. You need to have that understanding. First of all, I guess the most important thing is the place. What place, what vicinity, what area that you're choosing for the restaurant. That is important. You have to understand what psyche of people, what category of people, more of a service class, more of a business class, more of the HNIs. So if in case if I think of creating a golf range at a place which does not have an HNI customers, I will not be successful. If I create a fine dining place which is not that audience nearby, I'll have to rethink on my decision. So first of all, the placement of the location of the entire thing. Second, understanding, as I said, for the audience, what is the audience nearby. Third is the trend. Definitely, nobody can go against the trend. You have to be a trendsetter, or you have to have something which is just around something what you're talking about. So wherein these multiple aspects club together, bringing together what you can bring on the table. And the most important thing is, multiple times people like us goof up in creating a thing and adding something from there, something from the other side, something from the internet, and create a khichdi out of it. So we should
Anyone's platter.
which is not anyone's platter. So ultimately, you have to have that concept of very clear thought that what we are creating. I guess on any of the restaurant or whatever industry you talk about, there has to be a complete one thought idea on the table. It cannot be a copied from there and there and there. Multiple. ये अच्छा चल रहा है, इसको डाल दो. ये चलता था, इसको डाल दो. That cannot work. It has to be one
research work. That
research has to go in. Definitely.
Moving this conversation, which is very, I'm just enjoying it. So I want to understand. मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि जब आप सुबह 4 बजे घर जा रहे होते हैं from busy days, every days, apart from keeping yourself busy with your businesses, what else keeps you busy that gives you, comfort and what you enjoy the most?
Last cup of tea at my house.
All right.
That's a very, very different story when I talk about people. People say, 4 बजे जाके चाय. मैंने कहा, that's my last cup and I'm done with the thing. So all said and done, one thing is brilliant that I really say again and again. Any business that you do, any business, anybody is doing whatever in their life, either a job, either a business, this satisfaction, the work satisfaction जो एक word है, is a very right term. I honestly tell you, I am so energetic, so charged at 4 a.m. also when I'm going back home. It doesn't bother me that I'm tired. I would be tired from my body, but my soul, my heart is jovial. So because I'm doing something which excites me, which makes me happy, which keeps me charged up. So I would honestly tell anybody and everybody, do something which keep charging you. The moment you start doing any business, any job which charges you, which keeps you pepped up, is the one that will make you towards the success. As I honestly said again, it is something when I go back home 4 o'clock, I need my half an hour time, and that's where I unwind myself. I think of what I had the entire day. I'm not that one who enjoys my glass alone. So I would take a cup in that time and I sip my wonderful, my own created tea. So that is what I end my day with.
Is this a diplomatic answer that you create yourself or take, क्योंकि उस टाइम पे कोई देता नहीं या
कोई पूछता नहीं है यार. नहीं, I again coming back, वो परमिट का टाइम है, 1 बजे तक चाय घर से मिल जाती है, उसके बाद खुद लानी पड़ती है.
that is also a sense of satisfaction.
100%, 100%. So that is what I'm saying. So tea is something which I believe is something I really do it for my own enjoyment. It is something which a taste is something which I really want to enjoy, and that wait for 10 minutes of creating and having that tea on the table is something which is more enjoyable than having a tea.
Favorite holiday destination?
Let me be diplomatic about it now. So I got
been diplomatic all around this interview.
No, that's my personality. That's my personality.
I'm gaining that.
So destination is not that fancy destination. I am more keen of a good company.
All right.
My friends along, family, friends. I am the one who doesn't travel without my family. I haven't been on a vacations without my family. One thing. Second, I'll be more than happy to have a vacation at any place which is serene.
All right.
I do not bother international. I do not bother domestic, whatever. It has to be a serene and silent place. And if I'll be honest, I say so that the phone should not work. But if phone does not work, I am not.
Something bothers.
Something bothers.
If in 5 minutes, no phone, no nothing, it bothers.
There's an episode about it. I'll share post this thing. I had a worst experience of my life when my phone was switched off for 3.5 hours. I was searched the entire world. So I cannot switch off my phone. That's the way, again, a personality trait. Exactly, it's my personality that I don't miss calls.
That we are in, that doesn't allow.
That is
because the lifeline is the.
I guess that's something which I believe is again as I told you, the operations team. When you are heading the operations, that you are looked upon from every team.
The watch on the wrist is just to manage the time.
Trying to manage the time.
No, because I've always had this fascination about, people say कि तुम घड़ी बांधते हो लेकिन तुम्हें time नहीं ये नहीं, because I always took that thing, and I always say to everybody that any person who is administratively very strong and built up, the watch on the wrist is to manage the time, not to see the time that it is over or it is started. When it starts, when it ends up, no idea. It's just to manage the time.
So that is the entire day that what we are doing. It is managing time, it is managing people, it is managing places. So the management word comes from there only, na? So we are managing.
All right. So in your basket, I'll post a question for me, because you have answered everything very diplomatically. And to cover that up, you can ask me any question right now.
Oh wow. So the idea behind the entire show, that is, whose ideas was?
It was purely my idea, just because I was watching all around people, those who have created impact in their own industry, which is reflecting masses. People were highlighting the icons behind the brands and behind the movements, behind any change that has happened into the world. But hospitality, I felt, in total, including FNB sector or wherever people are there, hospitality is there. So many magnificent leaders, many magnificent icons and legendary institutions have created, many brands around, and they are serving people not from now, but from past 5 decades, 4 decades. I wanted to highlight their story, their struggles, their turning point in life, because the lessons needs to be taught. और उनकी जो लाइफ है, उन्होंने जो डिसीजंस लिए, जैसे मैंने अभी भी आपसे एक सवाल करा था कि जब लाइफ में चीज़ें आपके अकॉर्डिंग नहीं होती तो आपका क्या अप्रोच रहता है, बिकॉज दैट हेल्प्स पीपल लाइक अस, young people, to mold our ways into very productive manner. This was the thing I can go any time talking about this, because that is what gives me kick to speak people about their experiences, upcoming things, and how things went to establishing certain brands. That is all about mine.
So that is what I'm saying. It is, again, ultimately, as I said, so you're again following your passion
Exactly.
The day that you start doing what you wanted to do as a passion makes you happy. So I guess
ties me in this profession. Nothing ties me.
so. That is the entire thing, that you feel so happy about what you're doing at your happy notes.
All right.
So how's your journey from hotelier to the one who's sitting and taking an interview to the one who I guess joined a family business as well. So how are you managing it?
Because I've एक वो कहावत है ना, once a hotelier always a hotelier, once army person always an army person. तो ये चीजें उन दिनों imbibe ऐसी की गई थी because we look at things very differently. इंडस्ट्री को मैंने ऐसे एक्सेप्ट करा कि यू नो मेरी जो स्किल्स थी दे आर बेस्ट सूटेड फॉर द वर्क आई डू. आई कैन स्पीक, आई कैन मेक पीपल talk about their life in a manner that it is very understanding, it is very knowledgeable. So yes, life took turns. Life
Definitely there has to be ups and downs. Yes. So that is I guess the right platform that you chose, because you have seen those people behind the show as well.
Exactly.
There are people
not at all easy.
Yes.
People find that we wear clothes and we are very well groomed, so the life is luxurious. Yes, it is. But at a certain point, after you pay the price of a pleasure that that we enjoy.
Yes. So everybody, whenever we'll change the seat, I'll have too much of questions to you. I'll definitely look.
I'll do my homework the way you did. I'll do my homework the way you did, because everything was very diplomatic, and I'll have those people, those who, you know.
It is honestly my way of handling things. I try.
Very smart, very smart.
You can call it smart. You can call it slash.
Yes, it is.
It is
for the people, those who are watching, they will stamp out that you're very smart people. They'll come now to Abir and they'll meet you.
Thanks to you then. Thanks to you then that you brought some limelight to me also.
All right, and some people like me, tea lovers, will stand at the gate at 4 and chalo saath mein bhi.
I will be more than happy to have that come.
All right, don't worry. We will wait for that moment to arrive.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
So thank you very much for doing this.
It is a pleasure.
I'm so happy to meet you, and the conversation that we had, it is an eye opener for me and for everybody who is watching.
I could be more candid. If you allow me.
I would allow you. Now let me do my homework once again. Right? Thank you very much for
pleasure.
Thank you.